Isn't it amazing how big your heart can smile once you find that way to love yourself and love all people? It's not that hard, it's so easy to do. It's like an ever present radiance that shines from you. Yes, there may be hardships and you may be going through the roughest time frame of your entire life, but you're not alone. And whenever you realize all that, it's like it's like the world opens up and you're just able to see and breathe and feel and live within joy and gratitude and be humbled and so at peace. I want to be able to help share this joy and love so that other people can experience this too. It's walking within the kingdom of heaven and realizing that the kingdom of heaven is actually in you. It's not a physical place, it's more of a state of mind. That's what traditions and religions and spirituality kind of teaches us. Uh, it's not a literal place, it's a state of being. I really appreciate it all those years that I considered myself a Buddhist. I'm more am I just a spiritualist now? But I speak on the book of love and the word of love and the religion and way of love. That's really hard for some people to hear, but it's okay. You're just not there yet. I hope you take the time to listen to people, to believe in people, to talk to people, to hear without expectation of reply, to truly hear whenever you're listening so that you can have that manifested goal that is within the acts of love come to fruition, to be able to reach the peak of the mountain. How exciting! I'm in a really good place, even though my body isn't. And it's creating a havoc within my ability to go forward because all the elements are fighting for dominance and control and to be heard and seen. And it's exhausting. And mornings like this, where I somehow and my kiddo forget the entire day. Uh, what day of the week is it? Oh, it's that day. Oh no. So then we just like, okay, it is what it is. I'm mortified that it happened, that I actually forgot what day it was and we got caught up in the moment, but that's also a good thing. I mean, it's not because of, responsibility, accountability, and you wouldn't want to be late to work and be all like, oh, it's okay, boss. I had like just one of these really cool fluid moments. Like, whoa, I had a connected moment with my kid. And they're like, you're fired because you're late. Oh, ouch, or something else. This moment and this day has so far turned out to exactly what it needs to be. And it's incredible. And yet another thing through insurance was denied. And I'm waiting on the doctor to reach out with like results from a test. And then I have to redo labs in a few months because there finally is a inflammatory marker, quite possibly. Oh, let's solve the mystery. What on earth is going on? Is spiritual elevation subject to parallel with physical degeneration, or is this just a coincidence of time? I don't think they're connected, but in my case, it's helped me along the way. So I sit here in this like place of gratitude and I'm just like, well, I feel like I'm radiating joy from within. And that's what it feels like to walk within the kingdom of heaven. It is simply a state of being. It's a reached sense of nirvana. It's that place of enlightenment where it's like walking on air. There's that realistic understanding that, yes, there is suffering within the world and that we are all imperfect people. So those things that pull us downward are like, are like our personal hell. It's the heaven and hell, the kingdom, the gates, and the brimstone and the fire. Why on earth do we need to put that mental picture within our eyes? It's the different people on our shoulders trying to tell us and persuade us what to do. One's a little angel, and the other's like the little devil inside each one of us that just makes it want to be hard or have us be seen, but our um, the way we want to go about it might not be in the best light. It could be for selfish means, egotistical, and purely for our own state of recognition and wealth. So exciting whenever we can just like let go of all that and live. And that's where I am right now. And it's so exciting. And I feel like when I talk about things, I get to a state of just like you can hear it in my voice, the elevation, the the pace. It's less restricted. It's more connected. It's not as distracted. It's not fading into the effects of my ever present overflowing ailments and my fibro fog, that brain fog that we get whenever we have fibromyalgia. For years, what I was told it's like a band-aid diagnosis because there's not really a treatment or any type of thing. There's so many different variables and it's just we don't have a treatment plan or any type of therapy for that, which is also like a kind of like physical manifestation of trauma from past events, PTSD, that type of element. So, it's all connected. And I'm living in this ever present moment where it's like, I know it's all connected and I want to be able to talk about all of it. And that's why I'm excited. That's why I want to get the earbud to be able to translate other languages so that in real time when I'm talking to people, I can have those conversations. That's why I want the voice recorder that can use the, I guess now, AI technology to be able to hear it, transcribe it, and to just write it all down for me so that I'm able to express all these things because I have so many physical ailments. It's difficult to keep up. So I need to make it easy to be able to get my words out and to be able to say what is on my heart and my mind. And hopefully, with that, I'm able to create more connections within the world to be able to help people create that ripple of dialogue to fluidly, transparently, without any type of one sidedness or a barrier to place in between us you know, that kind of like meta like brick wall that's just sitting there and you're just like, why? Didn't we get past this? No, no, no. This event within history happened and we all forgot and we washed it all away. Kind of like how, these worldwide epidemics and pandemics happen. And it feels like we don't really learn from the history. We do, but we don't. It's like, whenever you were having good hygiene and then you didn't start, cleaning your hand as often. Say you sneezed in your palm, but then you didn't clean your hand afterwards. So now we're spreading germs. It's like that with our history and how we've treated each other and how we connect with one another and religion and politics. Oh my heavens, it's all connected. Can we stop making it all political? Because it's all connected. Yes, they are separate entities, and we shouldn't be teaching our children to have one rigid point of view. We need to teach them accurate points of history. And yes, we need to not whitewash or cover over what has happened within the past. Predominantly, Caucasian individuals have dictated a lot of what has been written down in history, and that's not right, my friends, because that is just a one-sided point view of, and it's like a power dynamic. It's like voices who are out there who don't identify as heterosexual individuals are now in a state of more discriminated basis, just based on the identity and the gender of who they are and who they are attracted to and who they love. Why do we have that to separate us whenever there is a far greater picture? And that goes down to the roots and the foundation that ultimately connects us all. So, why are we going to let that divide us? We shouldn't. I need a platform. I feel that need. I feel that nudge, that push. Uh, And it gets louder when I don't do something about it. So I feel the need to do more things about it. So yeah, translating earbud, a transcribing a voice recorder so I can be able to speak what's on my mind or what I'm thinking at a certain time, or even recording conversations so I can like look back on it later. Uh, and be able to like write about it, or just like even from my own way of understanding, because I'm in seminary and I want to be able to understand these texts and be able to talk about the translations and be able to explain how they're all connected, even though I feel like I'm already living within the way and the word. No, I don't know all the technicalities and all the different scripture, and I can't say it all by heart. But here's the thing: whenever you're walking within a path of heaven and a elevated state of higher consciousness, and like in Buddhism, your awakened spirit has now reached that state of nirvana, and you just get it. You understand. You know it. You understand how it works. Oh wait, hold on. How do I human again? Okay, hold on. How do I talk to people, human to human, who have not reached a higher sense of consciousness? Um, if you can understand what I'm saying, you get it. And if you haven't, this is not an insult, throwing shade, or otherwise. I am not saying this to drag anyone down or lift upwards. I'm just saying this as a matter of fact. It's like a change happened within me once I started believing in myself, loving myself, and doing everything for me. Because you have to put on your oxygen mask, and you can't be a helper to help others if your foundational core is broken or injured. uh, it takes a lot of time to heal that, and I've reflected and looked inward for years and decades, and I still have moments and periods in my life that are just a complete blank, like our survivors of terrible tragedies and traumas have basically spoken upon. It's like your brain goes into self-preservation mode, and to protect yourself from whatever that time was, or what event it was, or person it was. It's like it almost wipes the hard drive to where it doesn't have the information there anymore. You can't access it easily. You might get glimpses of it. It might come to you later on in life. It might be like a faint memory within conversation. And then as soon as the conversation's done, you might forget it. That's what it's like. We need to believe in one another more now than ever. So I hope this state of freedom that my mind seems to be in, and my body is like going the complete opposite direction, but that's here nor there. As long as I have the ability to use my voice and to be able to express what I've always felt foundationally into my childhood, whenever I was talking even about uh, religion and the existence of our world and time. And whenever I was told, and then told that it's not appropriate to ask questions whenever it comes to, say, religion. And I was talking about the days of creation and how long each day took. And I'm like, okay, and keep in mind, this is like, single digit old me, elementary school years, and asking at church to someone decades older than me, probably like great grandma age. People were starting earlier or later in life at that point. I feel like I was a mix and a wash. Anyhow, here nor there, I gravitated towards older generations who had been around and seen the world, and I wanted to connect with them. So those are the people I would go to and I talk to, and it's interesting how people of uh, different age groups seem to have more experience based on their own livelihood and what they saw and what they learned from history, to be able to connect and have an open mind about things, to be able to actually talk without just dismissing and trying to disprove and discredit. Where did our where did our belief go in one another? Where did that go? So there I was talking about the days of creation, and I was talking about how a 24-hour day is something that people made, and how long the universe has been, that scientists and astrologers and people who have like studied, who have that education to be able to say this is why we keep religion separate from the educational platform of teaching our children, because they are different entities. There are reasons why they are separate. We need to learn information separately sometimes to be able to understand how it's connected. And I see that now and I understand that. And that's why I'm trying to express that and say that. But I would talk about how I thought that the first day was like billions and trillions of years. Because if we were going to take it and separate it into days and explain how things were created and how they came to be, then it couldn't just be one day that's 24 hours. So many of you might feel upset by that. However, that is the reality of our human found existence. To understand, to be able to actually look at things that have been preserved through time and to be able to date them with as best to as accurate age, just based on what we find. Wouldn't it be interesting and amazing and remarkable if we actually took the time to thoughtfully have conversations and speak without reactions and a way of finding a solution? So, being a problem solver versus being a listener. What if we actually took the time to take that pause and that ease and then we just believed? Is the kingdom of heaven already within you? And you just need to unlock that to reach that higher power, so to speak? Is that already there within existence within you? Are you walking within the kingdom of heaven, or are you bound by the gates of hell? Are you within your own human suffering and that ability to not be able to move forward because it's just too hard to be fluidly connected to other people and to understand that we all have our own personal journey and it's not going to be reflective or identical? Are you bound by the gates of hell that takes you away from being able to understand other people? Or are you walking within the kingdom of heaven where you understand how it works? Your love for all people just transcends everything. And you just want to live and walk within the word. But then you also know, caveat for me, how that word is connected and what happens. And that's why I'm also in seminary and wanting to be in ministry, because I know there are greater points to it, and it will shake the very foundational core, because it turns out, spoiler, we're all connected. It's all connected. We are all stardust, and we came from and we will return. Okay, I'm done with this video. I'm done recording, and I'm done talking about it. And it's exciting and it's invigorating. And I hope that maybe I do more of these. I honestly don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to get my words out there within the world. But I know that, again, any recommendations that anybody can say about like a earbud that does real-time translations and a voice recorder that can jot down an entire conversation, just write it all out for me, then I'll just like, plug it into the phone or the computer and be able to like have it written down to where I can remember what I said, which is, by the way, happening more regularly to where I actually can remember, which is a difficulty with fibromyalgia and all the fibrofog that I get with it. And then just like now that I don't have that like hang up with the emotional attachment with that suffering that I felt, feeling victimized and just held back for years, to create my own independence and to say thank you instead of just I'm sorry every time, to get out of that habitual people pleasing box that I had put myself into, because I was a child who was to be seen and not heard. It's all connected, and I know it is. And I hope that even if you don't believe me, that somewhere in something that I said within my words takes presence within you and you're able to let that resonate and think on that. Take care. I love you. You're not alone. Reach out anytime and talk to me. I'm here. I'll talk to you later.